Good morning. This is the world news in your premium talk radio, Today95.1 FM Port Harcourt. I am Butchira Fwa. The headlines. NDDC orders closure of its headquarters in Port Harcourt after death of its Director of Finance, Ibanga Etang. NCDC and Kogi State government disagree over two COVID-19 cases recorded for Kogi State. Inspector General of Police orders posting of new commissioners of police as President Muhammad Buhari approves reordering of Nigerian police force. And on foreign in World Health Organization warns EU countries against cutting costs for healthcare. Now the details. The Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, has shut down its operations for 2 weeks to allow time for decontamination of the building. The commission also directed all staff members to stop coming to work in the meantime and self-isolate for 2 weeks. The directive is contained in a memo signed by Silas Anyawu on behalf of the Interim Management Committee of the NDDC. The directive comes after reports of the death of the acting executive director of finance of the Interim Management Committee of the NDDC, Ibanga Etang. In the same vein, the People's Democratic Party in Rivers State, PDP, has expressed sadness over the death of the chairman of Asaritor local government area, Odiari Princewell, who died of a yet-to-be-confirmed illness. State chairman of the PDP, Desmond Akawo, in a statement said Princewell fought for the party and the state and did very well as a local government chairman in Asaritor local government area. Akawa said the demise of the Asaritor local government chairman is shocking to the entire party members of the PDP. There were reports that the late Odiari Princewell died in the early hours of yesterday and buried immediately at the Port Harcourt Cemetery in a very low-key ceremony by officials of the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC. In another development, some opposition political parties in Rivers State have commended the state government for compensating families of victims of electoral violence in Abonima, Kokotoro local government area of the state. 18 registered political parties, however, appealed to the Rivers State Governor, Nyesom Wike, to extend the gesture to other victims of electoral violence across the state. Chairman of the group, Barine Ken Kuka, who read a communique reached at the end of a meeting of the political parties in Port Harcourt, also commended the state government for easing the lockdown on Obiapo and Port Harcourt City. The group and commended the Soboma Jack Rich-led palliative committee of the Niger Delta Development Commission for evenly distributing the palliatives for the Niger Delta people.
That the council heartily appreciate and thank the governor of Rivers State, His Excellency Chief Barrister Nyesom Wike, for listening to the cry of the people of Rivers State in relaxing the lockdown in Port Harcourt and Obiakwa local government area. That the council also appreciate His Excellency towards victims of the 2019 elections in Akorotoro local government, and also plead with the Excellency to provide and consider and reach out to the victims of elections of violence in other places in the state. That the council commend the management of NDDC under the leadership of Professor Keme Pondi in the even distribution of palliatives in the state.
Authorities of the Rivers State College of Health Science and Management Technology says there is no going back on the e-learning program introduced by the Ministry of Education to all tertiary institutions for students to recover of their studies lost as a result of the ravaging COVID-19 pandemic. This is the position of the provost of the institution, Professor Franklin Nlerum, in reaction to reports circulated to students by the school's chapter chairman of the Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics that the e-learning program lacks the necessary facilities for its successful takeoff. Professor Nlerum, while dismissing the claims of ASUP's chairman, noted that the academic board of the school met and agreed to key into the online modern system of education to help students achieve their academic goals.
The e-learning program is a program of the Rivers State Ministry of Education handed down to all the tertiary institutions in Rivers State to ensure that our students do not lose extra years in school because of the lockdown of the various institutions arising from the COVID-19 pandemic. And again, I also want to say that I totally disagree with him, because also that the decision to go on with the e-learning was the resolution passed by the academic board of the college. The academic board of the college is the highest policy-making organ of this college as far as academic matter is concerned. And the ASUP is not the spokesperson for the academic board, and the ASUP also is not the spokesperson for the college. He does not have the permission of the college to go out there to make that pronouncement that he made. And that pronouncement has brought a lot of misleading information to students and staff, because I know that we carried out the training and informed the students and staff that were going.
The Kogi government has rejected the latest updates on COVID-19 by the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, recording 2 cases of the virus in the state. The state government insisted that Kogi is COVID-19 free. Commissioner for Health in the state, Zaka Odu, said the state government has developed full testing capacity and conducted hundreds of tests which have come back negative. Audu said that Kogi would not be a party to any fictitious COVID-19 claims. There was a controversy after the first visit of NCDC officials to the state, where Governor Yahaya Bello has ordered the officials to leave the state or be quarantined for 14 days. Meanwhile, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control is insisting that Kogi State has recorded 2 cases of COVID-19. That's why the rejection of the cases by the Kogi State government. The Director General of the NCDC, Chikwe Ihekweazu, however, clarified that while the 2 cases were discovered in the Federal Capital Territory, the patients, however, live in Kogi State. The NCDC boss, who was speaking at the briefing of the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 in Abuja, said the idea of recording the cases for Kogi State was to enable accurate contact tracing in the area where the patients live.
The physicians in the National Hospital, I don't have any influence over the work that they do. They suspected COVID-19 based on the clinical symptoms of the patient. Did it ask for a test? The test came out positive. The individual lives in Kogi State. Everybody's in what we do in public health. Your public health response is based on where you live, because that's where your contacts are. So this is not controversial in any way. Standard practice was followed. Once the results came out, the state epidemiologist was informed that he has to do contact tracing around this patient. It is the state's responsibility to do that contact tracing. So we hope they do it. There's nothing actually controversial in any way about this. It's all standard, fairly standard practice.
The Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, NCAA, has released the COVID-19 pandemic public health protocol for Nigerian-based crews operating international flights. According to the new protocol, flight crew must now wear personal protective equipment, PPE, and observe infection prevention and control measures for the duration of their flight. The protocol also states that flight crews will not be quarantined, but undergo mandatory testing for COVID-19 every 14 days at a cost to the air operator upon return to Nigeria, as flight crew members who test positive for COVID-19 will be taken to a treatment center for further management. Flight crew are to maintain a safe distance between passengers and themselves, avoiding direct physical contact. Cabin crew will serve only pre-packed meals to passengers, and cabin crew will apply disinfectant spray in lavatory every 60 minutes during the flight. The new guidelines are contained in a letter by the Director General of NCAA, Captain Musa Nuhu, to all operators, airports, and other service providers. The federal government has confirmed that the National Open University is planning to commence its examination, which, however, will be conducted online. The Minister of State for Education, Emeka Nwajuba, who made the confirmation during a briefing in Abuja, said that the management of NOUN is planning to conduct the examinations on Zoom app for students who are willing. The minister insisted that no institution would converge physically to conduct any examination until it is safe enough to open schools.
All our 84 study centers around the country are closed. What we are trying to do with the Open University is test for Zoom. If there are students who are willing to take the exams on Zoom, we've allowed that. But there won't be any converging anywhere until the place is open, until the country is open. And until then, any exams that can be taken will be taken on the Zoom platform for those who want to go with it.
President Muhammadu Buhari has written the National Assembly seeking approval for a fresh loan of $5.5 billion. President Buhari, in the letter read by Speaker of the House of Representatives Femi Bajabiamila, said the loan was to finance the 2020 budget deficit, financing of critical projects and supporting some states of the Federation. A similar letter was read by Senate President Ahmed Lawan during the state's plenary. The president also presented a revised 2020 appropriation bill and the 2020 to 2022 medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper to both chambers of the National Assembly. The House had earlier in May given approval for the president to borrow 850 billion naira loan for the government, which is a conversion of a planned external loan to domestic borrowing. The presidency has set the rift between the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Idris Pantami, and the chairman of the Nigerians and Diaspora Commission, Abike Dabiri Erewa, is being resolved. Pantami and Abike locked horns last week over the alleged eviction of NIDCOM staff from their temporary office in Abuja. The two senior public office holders also took their quarrel to the social media, where they accused each other publicly. Reacting to the incident, Special Advisor to President Muhammadu Buhari on media, Femi Adesina, said there is bound to be disagreement, but the presidency has waded in there to resolve the matter.
I wouldn't call it trouble. Yes, in any enterprise that you have human beings, there are bound to be disagreements. But when disagreements come, they can be sorted out. So, whatever the disagreements we have seen are being sorted out and amicably. But I know that things are being resolved.
You are listening to the World News in Today95.1 FM, Voice of the People. After the break, more news, foreign and sports stories to stay tuned.
Every day, every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today, 95.1 FM.
Welcome back and thanks for staying tuned. You're still on to the World News in Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People. The Force Intelligence Bureau, FIB, will soon be detached from the Force Criminal Investigation Department, FCID, paving way for it to become a full-fledged department. The Inspector General of Police, IGP Muhammad Adamu, made this known in a memo he personally signed. He said after the FIB is excised from FCID, A Deputy Inspector General of Police, DIG, will be appointed as head of the new department. The IGP said exercise is expected to fully integrate intelligence-led police and strategy to the community policing initiative in addressing the threat that the dynamics of crime poses to the country. He said President Muhammadu Buhari, in his capacity as chairman of the Nigerian Police Council, approved the reorganization of the Nigerian Police Force, NPF, with immediate effect. Meanwhile, the Inspector General of Police, IGP Muhammad Adamu, has ordered the immediate posting and redeployment of 11 commissioners of police to various commands and formations. The IG, in a statement by Force PRO DCP Frank Umba, says the new posting takes immediate effect. Those affected are CP Johnson Babatunde Kokumo to Edo State, CP Ondaya Dai to Osun State, CP Lawal Tanko to Bauchi State, CP Philip Sudemaku to Ebonyi State, CP Ahmed Shehu to Gombe State, CP Bolaji Salami to Ondo State, CP Nwachuku Enwo to Oyo State, CP Evelyn Peterside to Eastern Port, CP Okon Ene to Explosive Ordnance Device, EOD CP Bello Mekwashi to Airport Command, and CP Olukolu Shina to Anti-Fraud Unit, FCID Annex Lagos. The IGP charged the newly posted officers to ensure they consolidate and advance the gains of their predecessors, particularly in the implementation of community policing, crime prevention, public security, public safety, and general crime fighting. The Nigerian Defense Headquarters has raised the alarm over alleged interstate movement of bandits. Coordinator of Defense Media Operations Major General John Enenche made this known in a statement obtained by our news desk. He stated this after reports that dozens of armed bandits killed at least 60 people in 3 villages in Sabon Birnin local government area of Sokoto State and the gruesome massacre by bandits in southern Kaduna. Major General Enenche stated that there are worries from some quarters in the northwest and north central parts of Nigeria that armed bandits could escape from states where the armed forces of Nigeria and other security agencies are conducting various operations in the moment to other states. The Defense Headquarters earlier said the air component of Operation Daharindaji destroyed bandits' logistics store and killed no fewer than 30 gunmen in an airstrike. NHS said the operation was executed based on credible human intelligence, indicating that a thatched structure within the forest was being used by the bandits to store their items. The Defense Headquarters, however, affirmed that the Armed Forces of Nigeria is committed to tackling all the security challenges in the country until normalcy is restored. Kano State Governor Abdullahi Ganduje has joined his Kaduna State counterparts to abolish Almajiri system for life in the state. Governor Ganduje told newsmen in Kano if an Almajiri system would be allowed in Kano, there are guidelines which, if followed, they will allow for it to continue. He said the guideline will include having a curriculum that tallies with a formal school system. There must be a provision for Almajiri in terms of their full shelter, food, clothing, and all other necessary livelihoods. Ganduje added that if Almajiri system will continue, there must be qualified teachers who will be certified by the government through tests and examinations. The Central Bank of Nigeria has reduced its monetary policy rates to 12.5% as part of efforts to combat the economic effects of the coronavirus pandemic. The previous rate was 13.50%. CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele, while briefing newsmen in Abuja, said the CBN retained its cash reserve ratio at 27.5% and liquidity ratio at 30%. MPR is the interest rate at which CBN lends the commercial banks and also the benchmark against which other lending rates in the economy are pegged. A reduction in the MPR rate tends to make lending cheaper and helps to further stimulate the economy. And on the foreign scene, the World Health Organization has warned European governments not to cut healthcare spending during the current economic crisis sparked by the coronavirus pandemic and associated lockdowns. WHO's regional director for Europe, Hans Kluge, said the organization is concerned that countries will respond to the COVID crisis in the same way they did to the recession 10 years ago by cutting public spending on health. Kluge said those cuts prevented many people from accessing the healthcare center that they needed. More than 2 million cases of COVID-19 have been confirmed, and over 175,000 deaths recorded in the 53 countries in the WHO European region. Austrian Airlines have said that it would resume flights from June 15 after almost 3 months of being grounded due to the new coronavirus pandemic, which has heavily restricted international travel. A subsidiary of the German giant Lufthansa in a statement said flights will resume to destinations in Europe, including London, Paris, and Brussels, as well as Tel Aviv from June 15, adding that more cities will be added from June 22, bringing the total number of destinations up to 37. The airline said the flights mostly serviced by smaller planes such as the Embraer 195 and Dash 8 represented about 5% of the capacity offered during the same period last year. The carrier said it was considering adding long-distance flights in July, depending on demand for short and medium-distance flights. And in sports, the Premier League season will resume on Wednesday, June 17, with Aston Villa at home to Sheffield United and Manchester City hosting Arsenal. The two matches are in the games in hand that will take all the 20 clubs up to 29 matches and have huge ramifications at both ends of the table. Another Premier League game may be played on Friday, June 19, but the full round of fixtures will start on Saturday, June 20, with matches staggered across the weekend. A timetable was put to the clubs at their shareholders' meeting held to decide important issues. And to end the news, here is a summary of the major stories. The Niger Delta Development Commission has ordered the closure of its headquarters in Port Harcourt after the death of its Director of Finance, Ibanga Etang. The NCDC and Kogi state governments have disagreed over the 2 COVID-19 cases recorded for the state. The Inspector General of Police, Adamul Mohammed, has ordered the posting of new commissioners of police as President Muhammad Buhari approves the reordering of Nigerian police force. And on foreign scene, we told you that the World Health Organization has warned EU countries against cutting costs for healthcare. And the housing is edited by Chinedu Iwuna. For comments and inquiries, please call 081-5341-8657 or 081-4434-3502. Send your emails to news@todayfmlive.com. You can also read our stories on www.todayfmlive.com. Do not forget to take responsibility. Wash your hands frequently with soap and running water. Avoid touching your face in high contact surfaces to prevent coronavirus. And that's our package this morning on the World News. I am Butchie Rafwa. Thanking you for listening. Good morning. Just stay tuned. Today's quest is on.
Today's news, today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues. Today on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM. 95.1 FM, voice of the people.
And we're back.
Ikwerambe kao kabo hakuke basaro COVID-19 obunore kuke badun obunore ka obuga badun oma ikwonu oma ahwere gbaru oma mechangaricha nijigarichi oma okwaki iji na leoha ogomega nnenu nda no ha romobazi ogomega romondakere no ha nneba no ndabazi ogomega enyi no enyi no gbana horu obunore ke badun ka goru ncha no mini no okwaka mbombom igwakwele goru haka agbekeku a hand sanitizer goru pesina kai izene ha ndeba no jirikeku dasere bai ikerehu ịdụba ndụndụ ọ bụsọ nwere nye ji na-alarụ n'okwukọta ọka daziri nye kia ikerehu ịdụmasị nye kia ndụndụ si ị chọrọ akwa ọkwa were ha ka bekekwu a tishu pepa maọbụ nkitefu ịkwasa nụri ma ịkwasịla lọhume ma sa oturuho si ihe izilai maọbụ ehire ga ịbịakwu maọbụ akpịrị na ọkpọ ịbịakwu maọbụ onwe iwe na-eshiri ike maọbụ ịkwaga ọkwa mbọm biko oturuhu kpọọ ndị covid-19 ọfịs ba no Eliai Rivers State ha eli hụrụ ha achịketa aka ma chi hala ogbunere kebadụ ka ukebara Eliai Nigeria ishika na ọdụ anaka ochino aka ndị
Niger Delta Development Commission NDDC.
There is never a dull moment of this dial.
But let's get on now to what is happening here in Nigeria. In the southwest, we have 136, south 131, southeast 30. I'm not talking about the ones that died months ago. And Mr. President is busy traveling. The foundation in this democratic era we're experiencing today, honestly, believe me, the person soiled it. At the time he was tearing his party card, I was very ashamed. He didn't notice that he was tearing himself. How long will you keep on complaining?
We keep you informed, thrilled, and inspired.
I need to select. I like every kind of woman. But man, light skin does it for me. No, I'm not racist. That's what I'm saying. I could take anybody. You know what I'm saying?
We are your premium talk, news, and sports radio. Today, 95.1 FM. Don't touch that dial.
All right. We've got to go. It's 11:31.
This is Today.
They're saying that the explanation given by the military was not enough to say that he saved up to buy those houses or to buy. Man, let me just quickly get your thoughts here so that we throw that into the opinion program. I think I have a picture of what Fayose looked like on that day and what he was saying from that caption. It's not just giving him a certificate. We must see the
consequential order must be obeyed first, as to even those who have not attended law class. That place.
This is where it comes.
So why don't we start that first? You have that angle open now. Nothing is holding you from doing that now.
You look at it and make sure and understand that restructuring is what Nigeria needs.
Today's quest from 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. Catch Annie on this frequency.
This is Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt, voice of the people.
Welcome to the Peak Breakfast Show, brought to you by Peak Milk.
Good morning, everyone. It's time for Peak Breakfast Show. This show is where we talk about the amazing success stories of some of the world's biggest and your favorite sports stars. We do this because we want to inspire you to be better and driven on your way to the peak of your career, because as Peak Milk always says, it's in you. You can listen to this show every Monday and Friday on this station, and at this time as we bring you different success stories of some of your favorite sports stars to help inspire you in all that you do. The show is brought to you by your favorite nutritious and delicious Peak Milk, which contains 28 vitamins and minerals, including vitamin B1, B12, and iodine. It also comes in various packs and prices, so everyone can have a taste of it. So go to a store near you and purchase Peak Milk to keep you, your family, and friends healthy. On the show today, we'll present you with a success story of one big sporting icon from different sports to tell you all about their successes, as we prove to you that just like these stars, you can also be great. Also, we'll serve you to a great recipe to help you stay nutritious and healthy, as well as a productivity tip to help you reach the peak in your career and life. Don't forget, guys, you can stay connected with Peak Milk on social media. On Twitter, simply follow at Peak Milk, and on Facebook, like the Peak Milk page located at www.facebook.com/Peak Milk. We'll tell you more about the show when we return. But first, let's go on a short break.
He's my son.
Hey, I know, Mama. He's also my husband.
Some people say wives and mother-in-laws don't get along well. They obviously haven't met my wife and my mom. They are practically like sisters.
Hey, Mama, you know that new shiny George material? I bought one for you and one one for me.
And me, I've already seen 2 new shoes for both of us that will match.
Oh, Mama, thank you.
Wait, who's paying for it?
You, of course.
See what I mean? But if there's one place they are very different, it's in their choice of peak milk. While my mother likes
Peak Field for me, please.
because it has low cholesterol, while my wife prefers
Pick full cream for me, honey.
because it's rich and creamy. So, whether it's Peak Field milk with its low cholesterol or Peak Full Cream that's rich and creamy, choose your Peak today.
Peak. Reach for your peak.
Reach for your peak
It really gets me going.
and listen to the Peak Breakfast Show.
Welcome back. This is still Peak Breakfast Show. On today's edition of the show, we'll be talking to you about a former footballer who was one of only 4 Nigerians to be named African Footballer of the Year in his playing days. His name is Victor Nosa Ikpeba. Victor Ikpeba was born on the 12th of June 1973 and played as a forward for both club and country between 1989 and 2005 when he hung his boots. Ikpeba was a fast, versatile and opportunistic forward who was capable of playing as a striker, as a second striker or on either wing, and was known for his ability to score from any position on the pitch. While with ACB of Lagos, Ikpeba was discovered by Belgian club RFC Lech during the 1989 FIFA Under-17 World Championship and moved to play in Belgium together with teammate Sunday Olise. At the age of 20 and after scoring 17 goals in 1992-93 season, Ikpeba was bought by Monegasque side AS Monaco, then coached by Arsene Wenger. At Monaco, he gradually became a success, albeit with a tough start. He showed outstanding form subsequent to the 1996 Olympics, scoring 13 league goals to help Monaco win the league title. And he also finished as the second top goal scorer in the 1996-1997 UEFA Cup. His performances earned him the African Footballer of the Year award in 1997. 2 successful seasons followed. After leaving FC Monaco in 1999, Ikpeba will go on to play for the likes of German giant Borussia Dortmund, Spanish side Real Betis, and Libyan outfit Al Ittihad. But it was his time at Monaco that he reached his peak in his career. Among his famous feats with the French club was their famous dumping of Manchester United out of the Champions League in 1998 on away goals rule. It was also in Monaco he earned the name Prince of Monaco for his mesmerizing display at the club. Victor Ikpeba was successful with the national team as much as he was with club football. For Nigeria, he scored 7 goals and featured in 31 international matches in what was a star-studded generation of Nigerian players. Amongst his goals was a solitary goal with which Nigeria beat Bulgaria by a 1-0 to confirm their place in the knockout phase of the 1998 World Cup with a game to spare. In all, he played at 2 FIFA World Cups, 94 and 98. He also helped the country win the 1994 African Nations Cup and the Olympic football gold medal in 1996. For club, he won trophies with RFC Lech, Monaco, and Al Ittihad. That's it on our personality today. Like Victor Ikpeba, you too can stand out and shine like a million stars, even in the midst of equally capable people in your field. We'll now go on a quick break, and when we come back, Peak Breakfast Show continues.
Hey, when I just start this my mechanic work, me and my oga, we be like cat and mouse. Every time, not so shout.
More should do. Ready 10-11 flats now.
As time con dey go, me and my oga, we con gel well. When we watch ball, na the same team we dey support. If we walk on top, na the same kind food. Especially Shaki and Bokoto, we get PhD. But on top all our collabo, our milk dey different. As my oga, they like Peak Field milk, ready for blue sachet. It con get low cholesterol. Why me? Atanda Gidigba on top Peak Full Cream milk, where they rich, come dey creamy well. Make yourself begin to choose your peak today.
Peak. Reach for your peak.
Good morning. Did you have your peak breakfast today? For milk that's rich and creamy, choose Peak Full Cream milk. And for milk that's low in cholesterol, choose Peak Field milk. Whatever you do, choose your peak today. When it comes to most things in life, people are often divided into 2 categories. Take writing, for example. You're predominantly left-handed or right-handed. If you play football, your left foot is either your predominant feet or it's your right. Of course, there are also those who can use both hands and feet efficiently, but everyone falls on one side or the other of the line. This also applies to other aspects of life, like your eating habits. For example, you're either one of those who pour their cereal in before adding milk, or you're one of those who add the milk and then pour the cereal in. But if there's one area where people are classified into two distinct groups, well, it's in how they prepare their breakfast. While some prefer to use their Peak full cream milk that's rich and creamy and has a golden swirl at the bottom right corner, there's another group of people who love their Peak filled milk that's low in cholesterol and has a blue swirl at the bottom right corner. That's why Peak Milk has two distinct variants, the Peak full cream milk that's rich and creamy, as well as the Peak filled milk that's low in cholesterol. Both of them come in small sachets. You can also get them in evaporator tins and large pouches. That way, when you choose any size that suits you, you can be rest assured that you're getting quality nourishment from Nigeria's #1 dairy brand, Peak Milk. So go ahead and choose your ever-nourishing Peak Milk today.
Peak Breakfast Show.
Success, motivation, nutrition.
Welcome back, guys. If you're just joining us, this is Peak Breakfast Show brought to you by Peak Milk. Today's productivity tip is one that we all need to do. So listen attentively. Getting better at saying no when necessary. To be productive and successful in anything, you must learn to sometimes turn down requests, even when it's uncomfortable. It's so tempting to say yes, but it's not always productive. New projects and opportunities crop up all the time. It's easy to get excited by the possibilities and then wind up with too many commitments. Saying no is hard. It means consciously setting things aside so that you have the time to work on your most important priorities. Experts had this to say about the importance of saying no. People who are highly efficient are really good at not doing things. Having less to do means that the time you spend on important things is more focused and more productive. Too often, people think that they are becoming more productive by filling up their day with more and more low-value work. But this low-value work takes away energy and creativity that could go towards high-value work. The most productive and efficient people have figured out what they do that is really valuable, and they put their effort into doing that to the best of their ability. Usually, this means that they stop doing some good activities in order to focus on the things that are most important for them and for their goals. That's our productivity tip this morning. Basically, learning to say no to some things so that you can focus and concentrate on more appropriate projects part-time. Let's go on another break, which will be our last when we return. It will be the final stretch on the show. Don't forget, this is Peak Breakfast Show, proudly brought to you by Peak Milk.
Some people say wives and mother-in-laws don't get along well. They obviously haven't met my wife and my mom. They are practically like sisters.
Hey, Mama, you know that new shiny George material? I bought one for you and one for me.
Wait, who's paying for it?
You, of course.
See what I mean? But if there's one place they are very different, it's in their choice of Peak Milk. While my mother likes
Peak Filled for me, please.
Because it has low cholesterol, my wife prefers
Peak Full Cream for me, honey.
Because it's rich and creamy. So, whether it's Peak Filled Milk with its low cholesterol or Peak Full Cream that's rich and creamy, choose your Peak today.
Peak. Rich for your peak.
Peak Breakfast Show. A little bit of everything you need to reach your peak.
All right, guys, welcome back. It's still Peak Breakfast Show brought to you by Peak Milk. It is well known that healthy living is especially fundamental in this period. In fact, healthy eating is healthy living. Beyond drugs, the best way to combat any ailment, including the COVID-19, is by living and eating healthily. On the show today, we recommend a nutritious recipe that will not only leave you licking your lips, but will help you develop strong antibodies that will keep you healthy. Peak Milk Shake. Luckily, you don't have to get to a breakfast store before you can get to enjoy a milkshake. This recipe needs just 4 ingredients and is ready in just about 5 minutes. You can make this recipe ahead of time, blend up your milkshake and pour it into a glass, then stick it back in the freezer. Just let it sit out for 5 minutes or so before it is drinkable again. If you don't have a blender, you can just add your ice cream and milk to a large bowl and use a rubber spatula to stir until the milk is incorporated and then pour into a glass. The ingredients you need for a peak milk shake are 4 large scoops of vanilla ice cream. That's about 1.5 cups. A quarter cup of peak milk whipped topping for garnish and sprinkles for garnish. Now what you gotta do is blend together ice cream and milk in a blender, pour into a glass and garnish with whipped toppings and sprinkles. Here are the needed ingredients. Once again, 4 large scoops of vanilla ice cream, quarter cup of peak milk, whipped topping for garnish and sprinkles for garnish. For direction, blend together ice cream and milk, pour into a glass and garnish with whipped toppings and sprinkles. Your peak milkshake is ready for your endless nourishment. You have just 1 serving. If you're serving more people, just double the ingredients to the number of people that you want to serve. On that note, guys, it's a wrap on today's edition of Peak Breakfast Show. It has been a pleasure bringing the show your way. And if you enjoyed it, do tell a friend to tune in and at the same time on the same dial as we bring you another exciting edition of the Peak Breakfast Show. Don't forget, you can always stay in touch with Peak Milk on social media by following on Twitter at Peak Milk and liking the Peak Milk Facebook page located at www.facebook.com/Peak Milk. Stay healthy and keep taking the nutritious and delicious Peak Milk.
Thanks for listening to the Peak Breakfast Show, brought to you by Peak Milk.
Hi everyone, my name is Ese Brume, Commonwealth and African long jump champion. You're listening to Sports Attack on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. Don't touch that dial.
A beautiful morning to you and welcome to yet another edition of Sports Attack, the weekend edition on your premium news talk and sports radio station, Today 95.1 FM, right here in the Garden City of Port Harcourt. It's Friday, the 29th of May, 2020, and my name is Wisdom Obina. I'll be your anchor on the show this morning. On the menu, I've got exciting stories coming in from athletics, Formula One, volleyball, golf, and of course, plenty of football. So don't go anywhere because I'll be right back to serve you all the juicy details right after this time out. All right, let's get the show started this morning from volleyball, where Nigerian senior women's volleyball player Aisha Umaru said the game of volleyball gave her current job with Nigeria Customs Service. The Nigerian Customs Service volleyball player said that her game changed drastically since joining the NCS volleyball team. The former Benue Queens player revealed that she was initially discouraged by her parents from playing volleyball, but her husband kept encouraging her. Umaru said her heavy pregnancy stopped her from playing in 2019 Nigeria Volleyball Premier League in Abuja. Quoting her, she said, "There is an adage that says the beginning is not always smooth, and that's also my case. I started playing with the Benue Queens in 2007, and my first outing was at the 2009 National Sports Festival in Kaduna. My parents were against me doing sports, but the love I have for the game kept me going. Most times, I forced my way out to play volleyball and I was on the verge of giving up, but my friend, who later turned out to be my husband, told me never to give up. Afterwards, I made up my mind and was determined to break into the national team, which later became a reality. The game of volleyball sponsored my education and in the long run gave me my current job." All right, to athletics, where the Boston Marathon has been cancelled for the first time in its 124-year history because of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. The race had initially been postponed from 20th April to 14th September. However, Boston Mayor Matty Walsh said the race could not be held in 2019 because of public health fears. There is no way to hold the usual race format without bringing large numbers of people into close proximity, Walsh said on Thursday. The event is the longest running major annual marathon in the world, having been held every year since 1897. Kenya's Lawrence Cherono and Woknesh Degefa of Ethiopia won the men and women races in 2019. The 2021 Special Olympics in Great Britain, the National Summer Games, have been postponed because of the coronavirus pandemic. Now, the event was due to take place in Liverpool from 4 to 7 August 2021. The Games would have seen more than 2,000 athletes with learning disabilities compete in sports such as football, swimming, and boccia. And in boxing, Luis King Kong Ortiz says he will be fighting in August or September and is throwing his name in the hat to be considered as the next opponent for heavyweight legend Mike Tyson. It's doubtful that the 53-year-old Tyson will agree to fight Ortiz because it's too risky. Ortiz is one of the best heavyweights in the division, and Tyson is old and inactive. If Tyson failed to knock out Ortiz right away, there's a good chance he would gas out and get stopped as he did in his last two fights before retiring. The 41-year-old Ortiz lost to former WBC heavyweight champion Wilder by 7th round knockout last November in Las Vegas, Nevada. While it sounds terrible that Ortiz was knocked out in the fight, the thing is he had won all of the first 6 rounds. Well, I want this man not to come back. Now everybody wants to fight him. Now, the late Kobe Bryant's induction into America's Basketball Hall of Fame has been postponed to 2021. Bryant, who died along with 8 others in a helicopter crash in January, was scheduled to be inducted into the Massachusetts-based Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame on August 29th. Former NBA stars Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, and 6 others are also slated to be enshrined next year due to the ongoing global coronavirus pandemic. And to Formula One, the 2020 Dutch Grand Prix has been cancelled because of the global coronavirus pandemic. The race, returning to Formula One calendar for the first time since 1985, was due to be held on 3rd May, but was initially postponed. Quoting Jan Lammers, the director right there of the Dutch Grand Prix, said, "We were completely ready for this race, and we still are. We ask everyone to be patient. I had to look forward to it for 35 years, so I can wait another year." And to golf, the European Tour season is set to resume in July with a 6-week UK swing tournament and run to December. The British Masters in Newcastle from 22nd to 25th July is the first of 6 events, 2 of which will be at Celtic Manor. Later in the year, the Scottish Open is set to run from 8th to 11th October with the Tour's flagship PGA Championship event the following week at Wentworth. While other tournaments are to be revealed. The DP World Tour Championship ends the season in Dubai from 10th to 13th December. The European Tour was suspended on 8th March because of the coronavirus pandemic. In a statement, the tour said the return of tournaments was subject to stringent safety and testing protocols. That's all on other sports. Join me now as we take a morning cruise to the ever-exciting world of football.
My name is Simidele Adiagbo, the first ever Nigerian skeleton athlete to compete in the Winter Olympics. To keep tabs on trending sports stories across the globe, keep listening to Sports Attack on your premium talk, news, and sports radio station. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. You will be glad you did.
All right, yesterday, he shared palliatives right there in Benue State. Now, Nigerian striker Fernando Adi has explained the reasons behind his shock move to the Major League Soccer in the United States. The former AS Trenčín forward was on fire for Trenčín from where he joined Copenhagen. But despite some juicy offers from other European leagues, Adi decided to join Portland Timbers and has gone on to play for 2 other clubs since then.
You know, I first moved to Trenčín when I was about 16 years old, and it was a good place to start as a young player. Obviously, then I moved to Copenhagen, and the shot came for me to move to the United States. I just had to take the opportunity, and you know, I didn't know I was going to stay long in the States because my loan was just for 6 months, and coming out there is in Portland, seeing the environment and playing in front of the Timbers amid the crowd, it felt really good. And you know, when the opportunity arose for me to stay after just playing 2 games with the club, they started pushing for me to stay with them. So, you know, I think football is just a global game, and anywhere you're playing, obviously scouts are watching you and all of that. So for me, that was my idea. And
the former Nigerian under-23 player who recently joined Columbus Crew went further to state that the decision to move to the MLS has turned out to be a rewarding one, having cemented his name in the history books of the Portland Timbers, scoring 50 goals in 120 appearances for the club.
If you look at it right now, it's been really good for me. It's an opportunity. I think I didn't make a mistake taking it, and I'm just happy I decided to stay with Portland Timbers. And as you know now, I'm in the history books of Portland Timbers and all of that. So, you know, sometimes we make decisions and we don't know the consequence of those decisions. But, you know, as long as we work hard and believe in God and know that we are working hard, I think things will turn out to be good. So, you know, I made the decision and it has paid off, and I'm happy, you know. I'm still here in the States, and I'm just happy for the whole situation. So, it was one of those things it was one of the decisions I needed to make, and I was happy to make it.
All right, to the camp of the Super Eagles, where former Super Eagles assistant coach Silvanus Okpala says Super Eagles coach Gernot Rohr has not done badly since the Franco-German took over the position in 2016. Okpala was assistant coach to late coach Stephen Keshi, who led the country to their third continental trophy in 2013 in South Africa after a 19-year wait. Quoting him, he said, "I don't think he has done badly, but he has not done extremely well. If you've watched the national team play recently, you will know that he's a good coach, but all I want him to do henceforth is to take more responsibility as a coach. For instance, if the team fails, he should take responsibility, but every time he dodges from his responsibility. For example, when we went to the World Cup in Russia, at a point he thought he was not going to do well. Then he changed the narrative to tell us that he was going with a young team, which is not an excuse because the French team that won the World Cup were actually younger than us." Harry Redknapp has laughed off the rumours linking him with the Super Eagles job. Redknapp, a former Tottenham Hotspur and West Ham manager, was rumoured to be the choice of Nigeria's sports ministry to take over from German tactician Gernot Rohr. President of the Nigerian Football Federation, however, announced on Wednesday that the body have reached agreement with Rohr over a new contract. Responding to question on the Super Eagles job on TalkSport, Redknapp joked, "Yeah, well, I spoke to Sandra, my wife, and she's always wanted to live in Nigeria." She said it's amazing that this has come up now because that was her dream. So we are looking to sell up. We are putting the house on the market and we are looking to get somewhere over there if possible. But speaking seriously, Redknapp then added, "I actually went there a few years ago with Portsmouth. We played Manchester United, but I don't think I will really be going back." Arsenal will battle it out with Napoli for the signature of Nigerian forward Victor Osimhen. Osimhen enjoyed an excellent debut season in Ligue 1 with Lille and has been linked with a number of top sides in Europe. The former Wolfsburg striker scored 18 goals and recorded 6 assists in 38 appearances across all competitions for the Great Danes last season. Chelsea, Tottenham Hotspur, Leicester City, Manchester United and clubs in Spain are said to have also expressed interest in signing the talented forward. Napoli are said to have identified Osimhen as a replacement for Polish forward Arek Milik. And in the meantime, French side Lille have reduced the selling price of striker Osimhen to 55 million euros as they continue to seek a potential high-profile buyer for the in-demand star. Lille had the intention of selling the Nigerian for almost the price they sold Ivorian forward Nicolas Pepe, who moved to Arsenal for 79 million euros this last season. According to Italian media, Sport Media said a contractual agreement has already been agreed between Italian side Napoli and Osimhen, with discussions set to resume between the two clubs. The report says Lille have set their price for the 21-year-old at 55 million euros. Odion Ighalo has proved himself and deserves to be tied down to a permanent contract at Manchester United. This is according to his teammate, that's Nigerian teammate Moses Simon. After scoring 4 goals in 8 games for United since joining in January, the club are yet to secure an extension to keep the striker until the end of the Premier League season. Quoting Simon, he said, "If Manchester United deal can be sealed permanently, not just a loan deal, I think it will be good for his football, his family and for Nigerian football." Simon told Tribal Football, Odion Ighalo has proved to be a good striker in Manchester United in the few games he has played. Meanwhile, the Chinese Super League side Shanghai Shenhua are willing to allow Odion Ighalo remain at Manchester United beyond the end of his 6-month loan deal. The Red Devils are desperate to extend Ighalo's loan, which will end on Sunday. The Premier League club are in talks with Shanghai Shenhua over extending the deal. According to Sky Sports, Shanghai Shenhua are ready to allow Ighalo, who has scored 4 goals in 8 league appearances for United, remain in England until January. Ighalo may not be able to return to China for the start of the new season next month due to border restrictions. And from there, we move straight to the English Premier League. The Premier League season is set to restart on 17 June with Aston Villa, Sheffield coming up against each other, while Manchester City at the Etihad will come up against the boys from North London, Arsenal. These matches are the 2 games in hand. A full fixture list would then be played on the weekend of 19th to 21st June. Clubs are still discussing the idea at a meeting or on Thursday, but it is understood all have agreed in principle at this stage. There are 92 fixtures still to play. The Premier League was suspended on the 13th of March because of the pandemic, and it will be 100 days after Leicester City's 4-0 win over Aston Villa on 9th March that competition will resume with games now behind closed doors. Watford captain Troy Deeney, says people told him they wished his baby son would contract coronavirus after he chose not to return to training. Deeney did not want to put his child, who has had breathing difficulties, in more danger and raised concerns over the increased risk to Black, Asian and minority ethnic players. He is due to resume training next week. I saw some comments in regards to my son. People saying, I hope your son gets corona, Deeney said. In the meantime, former Premier League player Jamie Redknapp believes having Troy Deeney back will be a massive boost for the Watford side.
Troy is important for a number of reasons. Because he is such a big figure in the Premier League, he's got a voice and he wants to make sure that people are comfortable. And I think from Watford's point of view, Nigel Pearson's to have him back would be so important because he's their captain. What you don't want in a situation like this is the big players not being around. Now, I understand, obviously, N'Golo Kante is the same as well. He might feel that it's not the right environment for him to come back to. But the fact is that Troy seems a lot happier. He's spoken to the powers that be. It's great news because we want to see, as much as possible, a really fair playing field here where everyone has got their best players if they can.
Also speaking on the possible return of the Watford Maxman is former Liverpool defender Jamie Carragher.
Troy Deeney come out, he spoke, he was passionate about that. He's thinking about his family as well. You can never really criticise someone for that, really. But I just think communication was a big part of this, and whether there was maybe enough communication with the players and with the captains at the start of this process. But it now looks, by what Troy Deeney said, he's had 4 or 5 conversations with different people, and he's ready to go back. So I think that's a pleasing aspect, not just for us all, but certainly for Watford, because as Troy Deeney said, I don't think anything's really going to stop football coming back. Now it looks like, the wheels are in motion, and it's going to happen in the next 3 or 4 weeks.
Carragher also talked about the biggest issue in the hearts of most teams, especially the relegation-threatened teams: home advantage. Now, even though the German league might have kick-started, one key element that has changed is the home win ratio. Since the Bundesliga resumed, the home win percentage is 18.5%. compared to over 40% when fans were allowed into the stadiums.
The home advantage, I thought, was made out to be far too big considering the situation that we're in right now. The Bundesliga's proven that to start with. Whether the Premier League does, I'm not sure, but I'm still not sure neutral venues is off the table, and I know a lot of the teams towards the bottom are fighting against that, and it's not a case of actually do we want games in a neutral venue or at our home ground. Every single person from Liverpool at the top to Norwich at the bottom want to play at their own ground rather than play at new venues. But it comes from the actual police and the government. So that's where it comes down to. And if it actually comes to it, it's not the vote whether you want neutral venues or home or away. It's actually, would you put obstacles in the way of project restart starting because you can't play home or away? I think that's the big thing that we still have to get to.
All right, to the Serie A. Italy's Serie A can resume on June 20th after a 3-month absence in a country hit hard by the coronavirus pandemic. Sports Minister Vincenzo Spadafora said on Thursday the Technical and Scientific Committee gave its agreement on the protocol, and the Federation assured me that it had a Plan B and a Plan C, Spadafora said after a meeting with Italian football chiefs. In the light of these considerations, the championship can resume on the 20th of June. And Brescia owner Massimo Cellino says he regrets signing former Manchester City and Liverpool forward Mario Balotelli. Balotelli scored 5 times for the hometown club after signing last summer, but Cellino said he can leave the club, who are bottom of Serie A, 9 points from safety. He doesn't show up to training. He doesn't look very committed, let's say, for the future of the club. He said that's the problem. I think we both made a mistake. Meanwhile, Real Madrid and Manchester United remain the 2 most valuable football clubs in Europe, according to a report released on Thursday by accountancy firm KPMG. La Liga giants Real Madrid lead the list of continent's 32 most valuable teams as of January 1st, with KPMG estimating the value of the 13-time European champions at nearly 3.5 billion euros, with United in second place at 3.342 billion euros. Let me just run through the top 5. Real Madrid number 1, Manchester United 2, Barcelona number 3, Bayern Munich are 4th, Liverpool are 5th, Manchester City, Chelsea, Tottenham Hotspur, Paris Saint-Germain and Arsenal make up the top 10 teams right there in the list. The first Italian team will be Juventus, who are placed on the 11th position. And of course, to the fixtures to expect, or for the fixtures to expect in the German Bundesliga this weekend. Freiburg will take on Bayer Leverkusen by 7:30 p.m. today. Hertha Berlin will be up against Augsburg. Mainz 05 will take on Hoffenheim. Schalke 04 will be up against Werder Bremen. Wolfsburg will be up against Eintracht Frankfurt. Bayern Munich will be up against Fortuna Düsseldorf. 5:30 tomorrow, that game will be coming up. And on Sunday, we'll just have two games. Borussia Mönchengladbach will be up against Union Berlin, while Paderborn will take on Borussia Dortmund. And on that note, we call it a wrap on today's edition of Sports Attack. Thank you so much for your time. The sports crew will be back after the news update at 3 p.m. for another edition. We'll be back at 3 p.m. There's no news update on that one. 3 p.m. is the time for today's Sports Live. Remember, social distancing, regular hand washing, and other precautions are not simple, but no price is too high to pay for your life. My name is Wisdom Obina. Stay tuned to this dial. Today FM 95, the rocking one.
Radio has never been this good. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
For property business, Odibola Low Income Earners Promo 2020. You don't come. My good people of River State, you don't hear the latest for town. Now Odibola Low Income Earners Promo. You no need to worry yourself again on how to get land with the small money within your hand. With just one tiny 550,000 naira, you go fit get one plot of land will be 465 square meters for the Odibola Freedom Layout. Where the inside the Grutali, Ipo School Road, with the same 550,000 naira, you go still get your deed of conveyance and survey plan and all documentation within 1 week, and you no go pay any extra money for bush entry or agency fee or any other hidden charges. Rush now and pick our free interest form and join the next inspection. Call Amarachi on 081-3348-7968. Call Lisa on 070-6264-1169 or visit our office at Odibola House, Iyenweli Niserim Layout, Tombia Extension, GRA Port Harcourt, or go to our website www.odibolaproperties.com. Powered by Real People's Foundation. For inside Odibola, you go do business with us and you go sleep well.
This is Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt, voice of the people. Radio has never been this good. Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Bossa, 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 bossa. La, 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 la.
Eventually, we enter democracy, but instead to progress, now fighting we the fight. If democracy go on, we must get patience more to destroy very easily, but to build the encore. Wahala ni o, Africa ni sùúrù tó lọ́jọ́, sùúrù lèrè o, ẹ má jẹ́ àfàyọ̀ fọ́ o. So therefore, humility, o democracy, o politician, sùúrù lèrè ẹ má jẹ́ àfàyọ̀ fọ́ o. ó legislator, ó certificate, ó gba master, ó gba mísísì. Ọ̀nà democracy lẹ́sìn ẹ kọrin. Kí làwa ṣe? Ṣẹjọ́ làwa fàyè gbọ́. Kí làwa ṣe? Ṣèbáyé làwa jẹ níbí. Kí làwa ṣe? Ṣẹjọ́ làwa fàyè gbọ́. Kí làwa ṣe? Ṣèbáyé làwa jẹ níbí. Ẹ bá fi yẹlẹ̀, ẹ jẹ́ àjàyè orí níbí. Bó bá dọ̀la, ká ní ọ̀ràn wàhálà wa lọ. Bàbá ní aṣọ kò sọjà abára lé o. If we search ourselves, nobody innocent o. Bàbá ní aṣọ kò sọjà ṣé afárá lé lórí. Everybody guilty pátápátá, nobody innocent o. So make we stop all this hypocrisy. Make we get patience more, build better democracy. Orin. Kí la wá ṣe? Ṣẹjọ́ la wá fàyè gbọ́. Kí la wá ṣe? Ṣèbáyé la wá jẹ. Kí la wá ṣe o? Kí la wá ṣe? Ṣẹjọ́ la wá fàyè gbọ́. Kí la wá ṣe? Oṣù mi o. Ṣèbáyé la wá jẹ níbí. Ẹ bá fi yẹlẹ̀, ẹ jẹ́ àjàyè orí níbí. Ó bá dọ̀la, ká ní ọ̀rọ̀ rárá. Kí la wá ṣe? Ṣẹjọ́ la wá fàyè gbọ́. Kí la wá ṣe? Ṣèbáyé la wá jẹ níbí. Kí la wá ṣe? Ṣẹjọ́ la wá fàyè gbọ́. Kí la wá ṣe? Ṣèbáyé la wá jẹ níbí. Ẹ bá fi yẹlẹ̀, ẹ jẹ́ àjàyè orí níbí. Bó bá dọ̀la, ká ní àrán wàhálà wa lọ. Sùúrù lérè o. Ó bá bàjẹ́ kò ṣètúnṣe bọ̀rọ̀ o. Ohun ẹlẹgẹ́ ní democracy yìí o. We must be patient o, but vigilant o. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá sùn ẹ mọ́ ṣe gbajúdé o. Ká máa sọ wọn tọwọ́ tẹsẹ̀ ojú lalákọ̀ fi ń sọ̀rí o. Àwọn àríjẹ́ ń bí bàjẹ́ ń bẹ́ ń tòṣí o. Ẹ fura o. Báńsà òfúra fọ́ndájánú àjà òfúra àjájí òfin ní òfúra olè àkóyọ o. Ìfúra lògùn àgbà o. Democracy yóò gbọ́dọ̀ túká o. Ẹ má jẹ́ abáyọ̀ fọ́ o. Ká má ṣe bí ọ̀mùtí tó mutí gbàgbé iṣẹ́ o. Ló bá dá kèrèkè borí o. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Oh. Oh. Bonjour, tout la paix, Jean-Moal avec les Porte-à-côté. Et il y a Jean par la moto avec tout la rivasse. C'est Jean-Paul avec tout l'argent, les Pepo. Merci beaucoup, j'ai la listené, la radio. Tout à fait virtual avec la Funky Four, on prend la Mozoa, les Funky Four. Persuasion avec les écrivains, je peux les regardez-moi, avec tout à part, les passes ici, écrivez. Merci beaucoup. Ngwanu, je m'appelle.
In English.
That is to say that you are all welcome to another crazy edition of Funky Four. And it's Friday, it's an unlock Friday. You know, here we they practice like food where they bring from abroad. They first lock you, can't go unlock you, can't flash you.
Any day enter here, you don't lock them back.
Yeah. But for now, you know, the first lock us, they can't put break time, we'll go out, go play. They can't lock us again. They can't give us mid-term break, 2 days, you know, like just go play outside. But now we are being released from the cage completely.
It's just no be holiday, long-term holiday.
No, okay, third term. We did third term. Now, third term now. The holiday long, but when I no get conscience, say this holiday no go, go end though. Anything can happen. But by quarrel directly to the governor. Governor, you know, say you be my guy, you be our person. But you see, quarreling with you at every point in time now, it sweet me. Because you dey find my trouble, personal trouble. Governor, qu'est-ce que c'est? Governor, you so wicked. Qu'est-ce que c'est? J'appelle avec les Nicodemus les announcement. Why you be say now only for night of the next day?
Now they see the announcement.
Something where you give 6 days. Inside that 6 days, your conscience don't tell you on day 4, say, okay, no Kukuma leave this thing. Okay, on day 5, so okay, no Kukuma leave this. Now the day 6, in the evening.
People don't rush, go market, go buy everything with all their money.
Yeah. My dear, things where we say, you know, so ordinarily, you can fit afford them in something way. No, imagine, when they pay me pass, I dey like smoked fish. Those fish them way, Titus where they, you know, where they smoke, where they get shiny, but I dey like them. Those fish, no, they pass 300 naira.
Before.
You understand? Now would they beg to buy for 600? Now people they even tell you say fish not even there water again. You know say Nigerians can lie. Hey Jesus, they tell say fish not even there again for water. So they talk to
coronavirus
me now. And they tell you say coronavirus. Now say because of the Nigerian version of coronavirus, the fish they don't swim go Ghana, don't swim go Cameroon. Say Nigeria now they don't even get fish for water. To say one fish like this, they buy 35,000 naira. Now they buy the small cat for
share.
You know the kind like ugu will be say, brother, ugu in French, ugu is laoug that is everywhere. Laoug that is you can pick anywhere.
For our backyard, it's everywhere.
I tell you now, ugu is 100 naira per one small thing. Where they like this Irukere where children they take dance for cultural dance. No, that's where Austin where children they hold they dance for cultural dance. Now so the thing go there for your hand, and they corner 100 naira. See, now only that time where the leaf still fresh, where it stand. Now the thing makes sense. Leave until next morning when the leaf go sleep. My guy, the night we kill on locust.
Chai.
Oh boy.
And he no said the bread.
Oh God. The guy they look the bread they look at. Hey, even Jesus Christ feed 5,000 people with 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. The guy don't know where he go see 5,000 people feed. Because you don't even share the bread as palliative. In they look the bread is spoiled. You understand?
See, smart, you know.
If the announcement they come earlier in the day,
maybe 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock.
You understand? In the morning, 10 a.m. Okay, after our due consultation, because now the language be that. After our due consultation with the executive council, we want to do it for the Rivers people.
As in,
Rivers people are suffering. If that means bank go open the next day, this company go open the next day, that company go open the next day. So from then they stranded for village. No way to come back. To even come meet up, say, okay, morning. Because now, you know they favor Rivers people. You know they favor us at all. Because, see, even that day, if you see all this supermarket there, the way they want to rush buy bread, you go think, say, they want to do only communion for their house. Meanwhile, now bread will be as I talk to you now. I put a hand for ground, touch my mouth. He pay me because at that place they call jumbo. I mean I wait till that big size.
Correct.
And they look and say, okay, this one.
Now 700 now, don't be lie.
800 now I buy that bread that time. Imagine if to say now normal this you know maybe they don't announce earlier. Maybe I for buy the bread 500, use the 200 on top, buy sardine, then buy 2 small egg. You understand? At least make I know say the thing this equation balance.
The entire way.
But now only one thing. Now I buy for the 800 naira. Qu'est-ce que c'est? You are putting us under pressure, Your Excellency. I hope say the next anyway, you don't say until further notice. Make that further notice no come. May no come because the pressure with the day people head, it is much more than. Everything now don't go up. I know one thing about Nigerians.
Anytime the joy yes.
One thing just go up.
You know they come down.
Oh, Nigerian matter be like age.
You know
once
they come down.
Reach the age, you know they
come
back
again.
That will be that you know follow. Anything will go up behind there. I remember when we small those days. Guess what we they do for we call Ogio. That time we know they like to use toothbrush to brush because now self the people they do brush can't get sense. Can't they do soft, medium?
Hard.
That time all brush na hard. Every brush like this na hard. So because of that hardness, some of us know they grip brush mouth because the thing go wound you, blood go begin come out from mouth. So that from age 1 to 3. They use cotton wool and glycerin. Do you know what they call glycerin? Glycerin. That thing is sweet. Jesus. Before they even wash the front teeth. It don't finish. Before they wash your front teeth alone, you don't lick the glycerin finish. I don't know how they do that. It is sweet past sugar. And if they use glycerin, wash your mouth. You don't go on rinse am because make that sweetness make all day there. Now that time when you can't use the cotton wool brush your teeth finish for our bathroom that time na decking, you can't put water, come to ogijo, just throw am up. I think we'll go for ceiling. If you enter our bathroom that time, the whole ceiling na cotton wool na hang there.
You know, come down. That's what the price be now. Once it just go up,
it don't hang there.
Highest thing go just find one level. Like Gary now, just find one level, 1,200. From 400 to before. From 400
it
don't grow.
Don't go like tomatoes now. Tomatoes ordinarily that custard cream before now between 1.2 and 1.5. I see them. This one don't be say they tell me custard cream 5,000. 5,000.
Can you imagine?
I go one place where they sell 5 seeds of tomato. That robo 5 for 500. That means for one.
That time it's not like that. Yes.
Naira. That is one tomato like this. One seed 100 naira. Now they sell. I see. I'm not say they tell me because I have to do investigative marketing journalism to know how market dey. Now, people who don't buy that thing now, when they come say okay because lockdown don't come out, they can't come down small to 3,000. Your content say, you don't even thank God, self.
He says,
2 weeks ago, we
sell her 5,000.
You want to give yourself conscience, hey, thank God.
That is our profit like this.
So, yeah, thank God. Now, imagine for somebody like me where they like goat meat. I like goat meat well. Now, you know they even see, because slaughter no day open, you know they even see that kind of goat meat. I don't know whether they bring goat meat come. But before, one lap like this of goat, the back lap, what they like, ordinary problem. Anyhow way it be, I don't say that when I go one say that the way we want to buy them, but not lie. At least me, I go one bakery. My friend when they work for bakery, I go the bakery and he tell me say for now they don't put any increase for bread. Say as at that time as at that first lockdown, say them they no put anything. Say they sell 270. Where they sell people where they for there what they call them.
Retailers now. Go come buy say 300.
Come buy them 270 from their hand. Normally they sell that 270. Where they buy 270, come go sell 300. Excuse me, but now they carry 300, 270. Come for the frontage. For nobody say they go foul. Frontage of the bakery, they sell 400. Fine. You understand? Now wanna be see. Not be every wickedness. So Bible say, Bible, to him we know how to do good.
He knows do am.
Na sin. And some
people
know they know say that thing na sin, no. Because people will go be prefect for a hellfire. There plenty, they don't know. They don't know what say now when you murder person, when you stab person.
Might be sin.
Or you thief, they go carry person thing, I be thief. All these small things. Na sin, no. Some people know they know. See, sin be like one big canopy. You understand?
Different things there inside.
When you can't put small chair there, you want to do wedding, you want to do party, you can't set table. But everything they under the canopy, under sin. See, the Bible say every unrighteousness is sin. Any way you look am, even the one way even they fear me pass. Now say once you look woman breast, you don't commit adultery. Jesus, God, how we want to manage? How want to manage when you don't go look breast? How? So once you look lustfully like this, your emu stand.
Yes, you have something on air.
So, what is that? What type of color? Emu. Okay, once you start and your your standing order, you enter standing order, you are going to a fire. Hey, Jesus Christ, you don't go enter the kingdom of God. How we want to do? And Bible say, what is that they call this eye? If your eye go cause you to sin, remove them. Hey,
so you don't they guilty like this. So you don't they judge yourself. Even before you reach heaven, you don't they judge yourself before you reach heaven.
I'm judging myself. Bible say, man, judge thyself, check thyself, and know where you stand.
Whichever way to judge yourself, where you go reach.
Come, not be everybody now. So now go there earth. Everybody, some people go there earth, some people go heaven.
You follow who they go heaven.
I heard the song. I say I won't go there, so I have to walk towards it.
You're
I
not.
won't go
You're not.
They set goal.
For what? Now they even put more fear inside the fear where I don't already get already.
People where they are quarrel up and down don't go anywhere.
I am going.
You're going where?
I'm going to heaven.
Who tell you?
No say no be visa. No say they go bounce you. No be visa they take go heaven.
You know say no be you go choose whether you go or not.
I know.
You wish to.
I wish to. I dey tell you now.
What you want go to there?
For heaven.
Yeah.
All those street of gold there where Bible talk.
Street of waiting gold.
Now the street of gold, all those angels who go they fly up and down like this, they sing hallelujah. Hallelujah. Oh, I don't go see them. I go just read that from my book of Bible story.
Is it not better?
Oh no, I won't go see them.
You're a black
Angel Michael.
You're a black guy.
Michael, I want to see. I want to see the real Angel Michael.
You can see him. But you don't have to go to heaven to see him.
Where in they live?
He can come and see you. Jacob for Bible, where they say wrestle with
angel.
He ain't go there to see the angel.
Angel can now God send them work now.
Hey, that's the point. If you're on earth here, God can be sending angel to come and greet you.
No one lie. God no go to him again. The last one they will come. Nobody there come begin marry the.
No, because send those ones.
Who sent them?
Those ones are the devilish angels.
Who sent them? Not be from heaven they come.
Listen.
Come see babe say, oh boy.
You see why? I tell you, so no need to go to heaven.
Why?
You know they say, it take your mother talk and now. Angel be angel, they the same heaven, where you want go.
Come
in
down.
they only and they there, only them they there can say, hey.
You know they go where at all.
Where you? You don't call the right angel there. Who goes you? Those angels come say, waiting. Oh boy, una the lele.
Una the door.
If you say I go see contact, and they say for where? And they come look, God they busy.
They are busy with Moses and Abraham.
No, that time Moses never did.
Who did now?
Now Noah.
Noah, they okay. They attend to how the flood go.
God they very
how to
busy.
send palliative.
To
Noah and the family.
Now they come say shh. Papa they busy. Papa they busy. Mogo. And they escape from heaven.
Mogo see something like say the cool breeze of that time.
Breeze blows.
Say well, we'll go see cool breeze for down for earth.
Now they come see here. Children of men they bath.
Good boy.
They swim. I know those days they know they wear plenty cloth.
No, it doesn't this.
All this bikini they do now.
No be today.
If they know when bikini start.
Not me today.
If they know
I just imagine who give Adam that sense to use cocoyam leaf so up and down for him and his wife.
Oh. Cocoyam leaf.
That cocoyam leaf.
If better breeze blow.
That big one with a big like.
If better breeze blow, no go easy. Go they pack the cocoyam, you know, go they pack. So you see, designers not be today start.
I tell you,
so
that was the first tailor.
You know, say for villages we get stream, where women they bath, separate from where men they bath. For villages we get stream.
Okay, me I don't know. I know they for villages.
No, you don't get stream. No, those Obama show them.
No, in Lagos. Come on, man. I'm from Lagos.
Oh, sorry.
You can't see Lagos in VI. Come on,
now,
streaming VI.
Now for communities we get stream for this our side here, where women they bath, they little more hidden. So treat them.
Okay,
they
like
close them.
All those way they call those small to them.
All those small leaf them.
What they call them? What they cover?
Water ancient.
No be ancient. You know way big pass. What they call that thing now? Mangrove.
Okay.
Mangrove.
No, where mangrove they bath there. Mangrove they for sotota.
Okay.
Now ancient they for fresh water, and stream na fresh water. So where women they bath, they separate. You don't want community for Bayelsa, what they call Okodia, Zarama. The name na Calabar. The Calabar is spelled K, not C.
Okay, Calabar.
Where my man come from. Where then they bath and poo inside the same river. Then they go one corner where the river they from come, go fetch the one that they drink.
Oh, really?
At night when they hear strange sickness, strange illness kill people.
Oh man.
So now where women they poo different. Men need to go that side. If they catch you, you go pay fine and not taboo.
What if Bobrisky go there?
Yeah, no, they're not gonna know who. They're not gonna know the difference. So now, in those days, we had the children of man in the bath. Where girls the bath, they separate. So they almost naked because of say they secluded.
Okay.
Men the bath now angels and they have said every morning when they sing holy, holy, holy.
They waste time.
See things. Oh boy. Yes, we get wings, we can fly, but see things. Come on. Then They forget themselves. So God they waste time for waiting they discuss. Come waste time.
They
look until
night duty. Night
until before them come.
The flight don't
leave them go. That's Annie there now.
Boy, listen now, Agbada have been now female Agbada be this. When you wear, I don't understand. As you see the material, and so you use them.
They call them kimono. Kimono.
I'm suspecting. Have you followed the agents they fly?
You don't know nothing.
Is
this all the money in my life?
How much is that? How much? I plenty past my own. My own 600.
1,100.
Get something before. Why is the
one?
But where the people where they owe us?
Palliative. I don't know. We can call them this money.
So
the people where they owe us.
Like I was saying, now this woman better don't reach to bone.
No, why are you rushing her?
Come. You got a woman. Your leg don't swell. Now woman go born.
See, madam.
So why if legs swell na woman?
You see, you are your husband. All through January period, people they fast, they day holy. So now what do they do with this?
Stop that.
What are you doing? What are they doing?
No, be January.
Now January be fasting now. January to February.
No, this thing happened before January. Count the months.
Why not they calculate person belle?
She did like
person get the belle, they calculate her for.
We just want to be sure
the belle is too much.
They were not following the social distance.
And I was saying something important before you came.
Husband and wife, this.
I was saying something very important.
Please say it.
So these angels, they can't forget time.
This is the best biscuit in the world.
I
need a mad cough now.
Don't worry, once you see that biscuit, you will confirm. Don't worry. Just go ahead.
So the angels can't forget to go back. Everywhere can lock. Door don't close. And the kukuma come down and say, overleave that thing.
How would they get that day?
After we go arrange. We'll go finish this. We'll start. That's why the Bible says if your eye they worry you like you talk. The matter. So they come down, come rush the guests there.
And the guests they come look and say, oh boy, na angel.
No, they don't know say na angel. They were final men.
They tall now.
They tall, huge. They come born within the Bible called Nephilim. You know Nephilim? Giants. Those giants they come begin to warala the whole world.
Which giant will get yourself?
Gentle Jack, no
rich giant.
Giant Alakija. We didn't call for Lagos, they mad. You know that Alakija? You know why they call Alakija?
Just stop. Tall na giant now must you be heavy to be giant. Oh, you will get body.
Giant they be like a Hulk Hogan. No. What with that actor? Where they do that? Where they act film? Where they act?
Dwayne York.
Dwayne something. Dwayne York.
Dwayne York, Abi.
Come, Dwayne York. No be that short one.
No, something Dwayne.
Idiot. Now that short one.
No, that one. What with that guy? Dwayne. I know say not Dwayne something.
Come. What those people they watch film anyhow?
Dwayne did the name. I don't remember the central.
The Rock.
No.
Wait, did I ask Scorpion King? Nine be the Rock.
Nine be the Rock. In now Dwayne. I don't know the last one.
The York na that short one. We ask small pikin. We no be small pikin. You don't watch that film. The mama carry her. In the kiss mama, when they kiss her, they happy. Now man no now or handed they no they call her handed they. This dwarf them.
Nah, they handed it.
How they make that film? I don't know. Even too much. The guy there, yeah. So back to what I was saying. Angels now born Nephilim. Nephilims started disturbing the whole world, warring the whole world.
They did Warala.
Warala, okay. And then they warala the whole world. Come, see name here.
The guy
Dwayne Johnson.
Dwayne Johnson.
Paul, thank you.
Now people now wanna be our strength for here. God bless you. Anything where would they find?
You didn't know before.
Anything where would they find? Now they always make it happen.
I bet would they find palliative.
Abel Sena Dwayne Johnson, former.
Anything where they find I palliative.
Former king Hercules.
Hercules now.
You don't know Hercules?
Hercules. Hercules.
So you don't know Hercules?
Okay, now Hercules, not Hercules.
Now Hercules.
Okay, the old version.
No, Hercules. You know Achilles. Achilles, come down and fight. When fight don't hot, Achilles they come down and mad. No, so don't know Hercules.
Okay, now we will continue.
So, this story, what is it about, really?
Now, Michael carry me go there.
What thing we want? What is it? What are we trying to achieve?
Now, from my palliative and moral of.
No. You say one go heaven. now. Me I say no need because even the angels where they heaven, some of them see things where they are return.
So no kukuma dey.
Which means it was that place.
If you sweet like say, how do they talk am?
Okay,
for no come down here. Those angels get a hint of. There's a small stain in their body.
So now one.
Yes. Now the angels where they make hurriedly.
Now one.
Angels where God just use left hand fix.
No. God created everything, all things.
No, those angels that one.
Those angels.
If not, with happen. Why angel go to heaven look upon the earth?
Wait.
Ojikokoro angel. Ojikokoro angel.
The jealous
devil. No.
God not create them perfect.
God create them. So why say I don't God create left hand?
I say with left hand. I say greater with left hand. I make him be like this.
Yes, now.
No.
That you use left hand don't make say it was not perfect.
Angels have free will, like we have free will,
and they are our servants.
God they use the concept give us message. Yes, now you won't go meet them.
Angels don't get free will.
Okay.
Angels don't get free will.
They get free will. They get if they don't get free will, devil know what they do.
And
they get free will. We too will get free will.
World come begin look women.
Angels are not instinctively created.
I said not human beings get free will.
What in angels?
Because now you God creating an image, not be angels.
So angels are robots.
That robots
that's not true.
Now we do.
That's not true.
I know they move on. This one not be Bible study. We come to here. No, they move on.
No, Annie.
I said no be Bible study.
Don't misinform people.
I'm not misinforming people. That's why I want to come up.
Angels have free will.
You not be pastor. I not be pastor.
I read Bible.
As you read and finish, your interpretation they different.
Do anything where they their mind.
Yes.
Now you make them come look babes. Go back.
If them be robot, they go look babes. Ask you neighbor.
Moving. I'm not asking nobody.
Begin look babes for club. It not easy. Even babes they don't born to. We come club. Because so guys say that one. Everything still stand. Wait.
They will people. We'll go back to
where we did before.
No, not there anywhere. Now you are just.
In fact, let us
Malangari.
Now we are not even see why.
No. I said I want me to agree on one thing. Me
say you won't go.
No, you.
Okay.
You won't go heaven, Abi.
I won't go heaven.
Save journey. Any day God send a message to me, if you no come in time, if I no slap you, if I no wrestle you like Jacob,
Michael, Bible say
Jacob wrestle the whole angel. No, if you move, you mad. Kule we are strong. I don't go anywhere.
Come. What did the angel do? Angel no give her dislocation.
For where?
For leg now.
If they say wrestle.
Where? Angel just look and say, see, money in the good.
Now, okay, he may get small dislocation.
He give her small dislocation. I don't even say blow him. He touch him. They say touch him. He leg come out.
But still,
turn on to.
He succeed for what he wants. He say, you must bless me. And the angel true.
I say even no sense in an angel.
And everything. You, when you come, I go know you now. I go say, come.
Okay.
Angel Kule, you dey mad. You will come say,
where my palliative?
Uboy them mad. You know, say something from that heaven come down. If I sound you.
I will always say, wait now, we never collect a location for
shut up! Kule, I don't trust you.
Angel Kule,
Angel Kule, I don't trust you.
I say, ask Michael now.
You don't start.
No.
Angel Tatafo. Angel Tatafo. You don't start. I know you want to do funky for.
That's why they hope palliative.
Don't carry me blow.
That's why you hope people palliative.
Who go scatter hell? Kule, go to heaven and they wait for you.
Bible says,
where
rapture come.
Rap waiting.
Those who died in Christ will rise first and go and catch up with God.
That's first. The second people now who?
Now the ones that we go there for grave. Now those ones that need devil they come from with flogging and manual labor. And that's why you go no say when I wait there. When I go see something.
Not here go be paradise. Stop that.
So which side hell go there?
Hell, waiting be hell.
Hell now, where a place where fire they burn with fire and brimstone.
Man, ask you one simple question. Annie, no verse. There's no Bible study, but more just clarify certain things. No, I beg no verse. You know, so you get hot temper.
With this your week, Zev.
Not be weak now. Hey.
No, this is weak.
Thank God.
Don't digress me.
This is attached week.
Thank God say. You say yo. So whatever it is a yo. Mama.
You're doing york.
Okay.
Kule.
Go ahead.
Let's imagine, just imagine. Because I don't think say people go there one place they burn. Fire go they burn there every day.
For 1,000.
Wait, no be one forever and ever. Fire go they burn them. Then Devil go to wipe them. Come you need a bone well. Yeah. You don't mind. Come on, Benna, the fire burn you on your side. Say why your head just like a roast goat.
Say enter the beside where fire dey burn.
Fire go to burn them forever and ever. They no die. Then they. Is that not living forever? They are alive forever now.
But in punishment.
Which punishment be that?
With fire na AC.
Now they ask you, say, waiting. See, that's fire go burn you to tell you, go cuckoo man, then they burn you again.
Yes, the fire no go burn you, na just torment.
What is the torment for?
The
torment you forever and ever.
For disobedience against God's wish, God's plan, and God's purpose for life.
God, you go there forever.
Seriously. Why the people
that is terrible?
Who did there forever too?
It's wrong.
Because they are going to reign with God forever and ever.
No, they are reigning with God. God will reign forever and ever. Not be the people go reign with God. The people go reign with God only 1,000 years. Like you talk. After that, everything will be handed over back to God. God becomes God and everything to everybody. Back to how God first created the world. No time we God create the world from day one. Say, as if they created Jesus, they can't die. And lie.
So basically,
Jesus coming to die. It's an effect of devil deceiving Adam and Eve to chop apple.
Now we Jesus don't come back.
Now he go rule for 1,000 years. He go now hand over everything to God. It's in the Bible. To Jehovah God. God himself.
Jesus go hand over.
Yes, everything back.
Okay, so now he go dey in charge for all that 1,000 years.
Only with the people we go rule with like on where you say one go there.
Yes,
you go join them.
Yes.
So anytime they send you message, wallahi, if you no come quick, if I don't beat you. So now we don't learn say now this location where the angel they give you a man. Me I go Google man drink alabuku. They wait if you give me this location, you don't go walk. Back to what you were saying. So it no go happen like that because it is of no use. God is love. God no go. Excuse me. Imagine yourself, Kunle. Because one man do you bad thing, you put up a fire, you go to happy everything. You go wake up, say come. Well, I can end born. Our chairman, board of directors,
former chairman. Go now, we don't even know where he did against them.
No, that's still our guy.
He's our guy, just our guy. Angels do not have free will.
They work with instructions. Either from the throne or from man. As long as man is in good stead with Jesus. Abel, wrong.
It's true. See, the Old Testament, in the beginning, it's some interpretation. In the beginning.
Oh yeah.
It is said that perhaps because for theologists and all those, they proposed that perhaps there was a probation period for the angels. At that point where Satan, Lucifer, was able to convince a third of the angels to fall with him. That means with the campaign. You whole rally.
Idiot.
He gets slogan. I wonder what his slogan go be for in campaign. But whatever it was, at that period he was able to convince a third of the angels to fall alongside with him.
He was able to convince people we don't get free will.
That's what I'm saying. That the theologists will propose that perhaps at that period they
had. Because
let's
be sure of all things.
We are not sure. You're not. Even you were here. You're not sure of anything.
Sure what I'm saying.
Nah, you're not. So after that, there is no other indication. After that angels have disobeyed the word of God or have not gone on his commands or the commands of the children of God.
After that time.
After that period. There is nowhere it is indicated.
There are two things in this world. I mean, this whole universe. It's either you did good or you did bad. The angels decided to do bad. Okay, for instance, once we can look women for newer time.
No, so hold on.
I'm coming now.
No, listen. They say that when we know. We assume say they say that we call they say fall along with me. Still they here. They terrorize human beings up and down. You know they still terrorize angels. They say fall alongside with me.
That's what I'm saying now. Angel will go follow instruction. Why will you follow alongside with the devil if the devil go get you? It's a simple thing.
No.
Come on.
See.
It's a simple thing.
It's okay.
Now still. You know, say devil self get power.
Yes, now.
Of course. Enormous power.
Get power.
Correct power.
I say carry this. Another man. Oh, you know one day lawyer. I will change you. You will not go for second time.
Good. If they are created with instructions only. If angel tell them, go say, wait, angel, devil, and they come. Make I go take instruction from God.
They were taking instruction from them.
See,
as
the Bible
of the angels that time.
No,
the Bible,
good and bad days.
That's why I said that it's difficult if at all we say we're going to go with what we learned from the Bible, because the Bible did indicate that it was man that was given the power for free will. Because he was the only
by the actions of the angels.
He was the only that was created in the image of God. Meanwhile, God has created every other thing
before man.
And yet he said he was the one that was created in the image of God.
Not be human being self.
How can you just be human being? Did you drink something this morning?
Where your picking name? Olumide. Olumide never ask this kind of question.
Wait first. You know I
why you ask
they come born giant. Now
they materialize. Bible say they materialize. They can change.
They can transform to anything.
Angel
go ahead.
Then they come in a form.
They black up.
Angel come talk. Donkey